What's up everybody, Couch Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we need to talk about Valorant Ranked. Pro players are incredibly pissed off at Ranked right now, and even just your average player is dealing with so much cheaters, smurfing, and many other problems that have to do with Ranked. So we're gonna break it down and talk about if Ranked actually has a problem, what is the solution to these problems, and where do we go from here. But the GameLeap website's the best place to pop up and dominate with in-depth tips, tricks, guides, and so much more. So do yourself a favor if you want to dominate and climb to Diamond, Immortal, or even Radiant, go check it out right now down below. So first off, we have players like Tens tweeting stuff like this out saying, quote, "Don't know what's happened, but this act ranked has been dog shit. Feel like never playing ranked again would not only make me happier in life, but a better player." And in addition to that, there's an entire thread of players from all ranks basically complaining about just ranked in general. It feels like a lot of games just are coin flips, there's smurfs that are rampant. A lot of people in the comments have been just complaining about just players in their games that obviously don't belong. The top comment said this, quote, "I thought I was going crazy, but almost every game there is a Jet or Reyna that's my rank, but has 3x my kills." There's other players that are complaining about being in the diamond rank where it feels like sometimes they are doing just fine, and then in the next game, they're getting completely hard stomped by an obvious smurf. And this is a problem that has persisted for a long time. And when we talk about people that are in the higher ranks, people like Tens and just people that are climbing in, Radiant or Immortal, there's a number of different reasons why someone could have a really rough time in ranked. I have personal friends that they have been Immortal 3 for a very long time, and then out of nowhere, they'll go on a huge loss streak, and even though they're popping off, even though they're doing so much, it doesn't matter. It feels like the games are unwinnable, and it sometimes feels like there's either people that are being boosted that are in your game, or people are smurfing on the enemy team, and the MMR system is all out of whack. So yeah, ranked has problems, and people of all ranks are pretty unhappy with the ranked experience. That being said, I read this comment and I actually really thought about it. It said, quote, "Everyone just talks about how it sucks. I want to hear how people would fix it, because I agree it sucks, but I'm not sure how they would change it enough that it just doesn't slowly happen again." And there are several suggestions. One of them said that they wanted to just stop resetting MMR, slight readjustments. They cite that it actually breeds toxicity between tryhard smurfs and legit players when there's all this MMR resetting stuff. While I do agree with that to an extent, I don't really feel like that is the root of the problem, right? The root of the problem are smurfs to begin with. The fact that there are so many. And honestly, when I'm here, right now I'm in Bulgaria, I'm actually about to fly back to America. I tried to make an EU account. I wanted to grind my games to play ranked in EU, and it was gonna take way too damn long. I mean, Riot has already made it really hard for you to actually grind the required games in order to play ranked, because remember, you have to be level 20, which is quite a lot of grinding. I mean, it's not something that you could do overnight, but I really don't think that smurfs are coming from accounts that people are creating and then smurfing on them. I think smurfs are coming from people that are buying accounts, which I see all the damn time on places like TikTok that are offering paid accounts where someone could buy an account of a much higher level, or they could buy a really low iron account just because they want to stomp people all the way up. Whatever the case may be, that is creating a lot of the problem. Or they're getting accounts from their friends, right? They're playing on their friends' accounts that's really low. They're obviously just stomping, or they have friends that don't play the game anymore and they're stomping that too. So while making it harder to actually, grind an account to the point where you could play ranked, that's not gonna get rid of the smurfing problem or the boosting problem. It might diminish it slightly, but it's not enough to make a dent, and a lot of people feel this way, where they feel really negatively about ranked. But there are definitely other things they could do. They could go really far and do something like SMS confirmation, which wouldn't get rid of all smurfs. Someone could get like another phone or whatever the case may be, but it definitely increases the barrier to entry. And it's a lot less likely that players are going to be handing out their accounts when they only have one. And if that account gets in trouble, then, they're screwed. That account gets banned and they can't play anymore unless they get a new phone. It could definitely diminish this a lot. And there'll be a lot less boosting accounts and things like that. But the problem is, then you tie everything to a number. Everyone has to have a phone number. Not everyone does. And it kind of gets a little messy in that regard. I'm not entirely sure if it's a clean solution, but it is something that is a very dramatic solution if you really wanted to lock things down. Now, I do admit there's a lot of problems in ranked, and it can be really frustrating to play ranked. That doesn't mean that ranked doesn't determine your skill, or ranked is RNG, or you're hard stuck in a rank. That's just not the way it is, and I'm gonna tell you why. While there could be a lot of variance in every single game, whether there's smurfs, boosters, or whatever on either teams, eventually that won't really matter because those things are variables that constantly change. And in some ways they could help you, and in some ways they could hurt you, depending on what team. The enemy could get a DC, you could get a DC. The enemy could get a smurf, you could get a smurf. The enemy could have 3 boosted players on their team, you could have some. So you see how that variance over time balances itself out, but the not variance, the thing that is constant is you. You're the constant. You're the person who doesn't change. You're the person that's in every single game. So if you grow as a player, become better as a player, become more disciplined and mechanically skillful and smart as a player, then in every game, the variance is weighted towards you because you're better. Now, that doesn't mean that ranked isn't trash, right? That doesn't mean that ranked isn't frustrating, because it shouldn't have to take a giant amount of games or a whole bunch of games that just feel unwinnable or your impact doesn't matter for you to eventually climb to where you belong, right? It can be really frustrating, but that doesn't mean that the rank system doesn't work, and that doesn't mean that if you grind enough and you improve enough, you won't climb. Because I guarantee you, you will. If you improve dramatically enough and you play consistently enough, you will eventually climb, but it shouldn't be frustrating, right? It should feel more consistent from game to game, and I think the smurfing and boosting problems are a big part of that. Now, at the end of the day, while there are definitely things that they could do, there's a certain amount of this that will never go away. I mean, every single rank system that is created, people complain about it. I've seen it in Halo, I've seen it in Apex, I've seen it in Overwatch, in CSGO, and in Valorant. Everyone complains about the rank system, and the truth of the matter is, you can't have a perfect one. There's no perfect rank system at all. Like, the most perfect rank system would probably be one that is just 1v1, right? Like a fighting game. But even then, you could still face a smurf, someone that just wants to stomp you for no reason. And while in that way, you face that smurf and you're like, all right, I ate this loss, but you know, if overall I beat people that are not smurfing, I'll still climb. That's still true, but it is frustrating if maybe like 1 out of 10 games, 1 out of 5 games are a smurf. Then it could ruin your win rate, be really frustrating to grind against, and it feels like you have to grind way more for the same result if there was no smurfs. So that's like the perfect example of why ranked can feel really frustrating, and tells us that there really is no perfect rank system. I mean, it's gonna be impossible to do, and while they can definitely take steps to shut down these TikTok accounts, shut down these accounts online, and really scour to shut down people that are boosting, people that are selling accounts, and things like that. And I think the second thing that they can do a lot is easily detect when someone is smurfing. Identify when an account is really hard smurfing and put them in a completely separate queue with other people that are also identified as smurfing. Something like that would probably work really well and make it so if you're playing and you're someone that is obviously playing in the rank that you belong in and you have been for a long time, you're exponentially more likely to be played with and against people that also are in their rank, deserve to be in their rank, and have been playing in their rank for a long time. That way, when you actually improve, you can feel it, not maybe you're improving and then you're going up against a smurf and you don't even know when you're doing something right or wrong. But I really want to pass the question off to you. How do you feel about ranked? Has cheating, boosting, or any of that been a problem for you? And definitely tell me your personal experience depending on what rank you are. I know every single person from a different rank is going to have a different experience, but I still want to hear about it down below, and the GameLeap website is still the best place. If you want to dominate and pop off and abuse the rank system, we have tips, tricks, and guides about how to do just that. So go check it out right now down below.